you have. So let's continue. So types of epithelial tissue. So types of epithelial tissue. All right. So types of epithelial tissue. So let's now explore that. So under the types of epithelial tissue, you have what we call simple and stratified. Okay. Now the simple is divided into 5. You have simple squamous. You have simple cuboidal. You have simple columnar. You have simple ciliated columnar. And finally, you have pseudo stratified. The pseudo means false. Pseudo means false. That means it looks like layered, but actually it is not. I'll come to that. That's why the word pseudo stratified comes in. That means it looks like as if it's stratified. It looks like as if it's layered, but actually it's not. That's why the word pseudo. So there are 5 types of simple epithelial tissue. And then you have what we call stratified. Also the same thing. All right? Stratified. We will divide into 3. Stratified, we have stratified squamous. We'll consider 3 years. Cuboidal and columnar. Okay? All right? So basically that's the structure. So now we're going to look at the simple one. So we are going to go to the first one. Now, basically all cells are 3-dimensional cells. So remember, all cells basically are 3-dimensional cells. Okay? So it is the difference in their dimension that makes them different. All right? So for example, in a simple squamous cell, it's just a diagrammatic understanding. Huh? Okay. Okay, so you can see in this diagram, you can see roughly the length, that's the breadth, I put B, that's the length, L. Okay, so I will make it more easier. Okay. Okay. So, and that's your height, which I'm going to put as 8. Just concentrate on 3 dimensions. So here basically length roughly the same as breadth, but they are greater. They are much greater than your height. Okay. This is your simple squamous. So simple squamous cells are flat cells. They are flat cells. So you can see they're flat because the height is small, whereas the length and breadth are big. Remember, they're 3-dimensional. So this is your idea you must have. And because it's flat, your nucleus tends to bulge. That's the nucleus, bulging nucleus. They're bulging the cells, the nucleus tends to bulge out, bulging nucleus. That is more like their characteristics. Now, in a cuboidal cell, it is more like a cube. So you find the length, the breadth, all right, the breadth, and the height, roughly the same, giving the idea of a cube. All right, so it's roughly the same, giving the idea more of a cube. Okay. Okay, so this is simple cuboidal. Simple cuboidal. So they are more like cubic cells, and therefore the nucleus is somewhere in the center with a central spherical nucleus. Central spherical nucleus. All right? All right. Now, let's come to simple columnar cells. In a simple columnar cells, look at that. So you have a smaller length, a smaller breadth. All right, so you tend to have what you call, you happen to have long height. The height, that's the length, breadth, that's the length. So the length is roughly the same as the breadth, but both of them are very much smaller than the height. So this becomes tall cells. Tall cells, okay? So they are tall. So you can see that is why it gives you a columnar appearance because of their tall nature. And the cells are a bit narrow, you can see, okay? Tall cells, so you can see they're a bit narrow. Tall cells, narrow cells, narrow cells. Very important, they have a very large total surface area for volume ratio. This is very important for absorption. So any part of your body where diffusion is needed, where, let's say, for example, in the ileum, okay, you need absorption of nutrients. Definitely, these cells will be lining up these will be the epithelial cells, the type of epithelial cells where you need are there. So for absorption purpose, more for absorption. But anything to do with diffusion, you need a short diffusion distance. This color will be more suitable for diffusion. More suitable for diffusion. This one you'll see lining up the alveoli. So this is suitable flat. Provides short diffusion distance. Short diffusion distance. Okay? Diffusion distance. So you can see alveoli. Lining the alveoli. Just to let you know. This is for absorption. Therefore, lines the digestive, the walls, inner walls of the intestines, inner walls of intestines. So you can connect it. You can connect it easier. So memorization is less because it has a very large total surface area for volume ratio. That's very good for absorption. All right. Now, what about ciliated columnar cells? So ciliated columnar cells is basically same like that. So okay, this is ciliated columnar cells. But on top of this, you have what we call cilia structures. Okay, we have it all around. We call it so like that. So you have it here. So these are called exposed or free surfaces. So cilia present on exposed or free surfaces. Free surfaces. This is basal, what we call surface. So this is not free. You can see no cilia is present there. It's only on the free exposed surfaces. Okay, this is more for ciliated. Cilia is more for trapping of dust particles, okay, and things like that. So you find this more in the inner walls of the trachea, and all that. And usually cilia is associated with mucus secreting cells, the goblet cells. So I put a note, okay, associated with mucus secreting goblet cells, GOBLET cells. They are also available in your notes, okay? But here you can see these diagrams, of course, not available in the notes, okay? This is for you to go through it. Now, pseudo stratified. finally. So I'm going to put here finally the pseudo stratified. It will be, you'll have one cells. I'll use a two-dimensional diagram. Huh? So what do you see? The length are of differing heights. So can you see one long, one short? So when you see, you can see like it's a layer arrangement. Can you see like a layer? Actually, a single layer. There's only one layer, but because of one long and one short, you get like a multi-layered arrangement. Like this is a higher layer, lower layer, like that. That's why it's called pseudo stratified. Okay, various varying length. Pseudo stratified. Okay, varying height. Varying height. Cells with varying height. That's for this. Okay. Later I'll come to that. All right. Now take down whatever you need to take down. The black ones are cilia. Label that.